In a faraway kingdom, there was a wise and just king named Naeem. His reputation for fairness and wisdom spread far and wide, and people from all over the kingdom came to him seeking his guidance and counsel. One day, a wealthy man came to the king's court and presented himself before Naeem. He said,
"Your Majesty, I have everything a man could wish for: a beautiful house, vast lands, and all the riches in the world. But I am unhappy, and I do not know why."
The king listened carefully to the man's words and said,
"I can help you find the answer to your question. Go to the market and buy a handful of salt. Then sprinkle the salt in the lake and come back to me tomorrow."
The man was perplexed by the king's instructions, but he did as he was told and purchased a handful of salt from the market. He then made his way to the nearby lake and scattered the salt on its surface. The salt dissolved in the water, and the man returned to the king's court the next day. Naeem then asked him to go back to the lake and retrieve the salt he had thrown into the water. The man was confused and said,
"Your Majesty, that is impossible. The salt has dissolved in the water, and I cannot retrieve it."
The king smiled and said,
"That is precisely the point. The sorrows of the past are like the salt that has dissolved in the water. You cannot retrieve them, and they will only bring you unhappiness. The key to happiness is to let go of the past and focus on the present. Enjoy what you have now and be content with it."
The man was struck by the king's words and realized the truth of what he had said. He left the court a wiser and happier man, grateful for the king's wisdom and guidance. The story of King Naeem and the wealthy man spread throughout the kingdom, and people came from far and wide to seek the king's counsel and advice. Naeem became known as a wise and just ruler who cared deeply for his people, and his kingdom prospered under his rule. In the end, the moral of the story is that the past is gone and the future is yet to come. The only time we have is the present, and we should focus on living our lives to the fullest in the here and now. King Naeem's wisdom teaches us that we can find happiness and contentment by appreciating what we have and living in the present moment.